What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and thank you again for joining me on another video. So this is going to be my very first subject in this new line of topics that I'm going to be discussing on this page, and it is quite possibly my most favorite subject that I'm going to do on this channel, and I cannot wait to get this out to you guys. And so without any further ado, I just want to give you guys a little bit of backstory before I get into this. So as some of you may know, as some of you may not know, I am a massive Los Angeles Dodgers fan, and I'm just a big baseball fan in general. But one of the reasons that I fell in love with this team at such an early age in the early to mid 90s, was because of one consistent thing. And those of you who are fellow Dodger fans, just like myself, probably know what I'm getting at, and you probably have had the same experience that I'm about to discuss right now. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Vin Scully is, in my humble opinion, hands down the greatest MLB announcer and one of the greatest sports announcers of all time. So with my very first topic video that I'm going to get into, I just wanted to give a little tribute to one Mr. Vin Scully, because I was reading through a book covering the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the World Series last year in 2020, and there was a subsection regarding him. And through reading that, I really looked at it, and it made me think, you know, he's given so much to this franchise, and it meant so much to people like myself that he got to see one more World Series. And he, thank God, is still with us, and he is, you know, still around watching games. And, you know, a lot of times we eulogize and we remember these people like celebrities or athletes in our lives that have really touched us, but we do it after they're long gone, and I didn't want to let that go, especially now that Mr. Vin Scully himself is now on social media. So with that, I wanted to get into what he means to me, what he meant to the entire fan base overall, not just as an announcer, but as a person as well. So for those of you who don't know, which by the way, I completely understand that there are people who do not know who in the world I'm talking about, which to me is mind-boggling, but I completely understand it's a regional thing. And it's been a long time since Mr. Vin Scully was a nationally heard voice outside of Los Angeles and outside of baseball. Because truth be told, he used to voice and do commentary for other sports other than baseball. So I've got a few notes here. I'm going to read them off real quick. I don't want to get my facts incorrect. So a few things that I want to list off for those of you who may not know who the legendary Vin Scully is. So Mr. Vin Scully was born in the Bronx in New York. He was born on November 29th in 1927, which to this day, as of recording this video, makes him 93 years old. He joined the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yes, the Brooklyn Dodgers, not the Los Angeles Dodgers. He joined the team when they were still in Brooklyn, okay? He joined them in 1950 and he stayed with the team through their move to Los Angeles all the way till 2016, okay? That is 67 years of his life that he dedicated to that franchise. 67 years, that is unbelievable. And to me, it's just, I don't think it'll ever be beat. I just do not see it happening in this current day and age. There's no way that'll ever be topped. And again, his final broadcast was in 2016 at, I believe at that point it was still called AT&T Park over in San Francisco. Any San Francisco Giants fans that are watching this, please feel free to fact check me. I know now it's called Oracle Park and currently in the year 2021, but I believe at the time it was still called AT&T Park. But anyways, some of his notable calls, like I said, he was so legendary. His career spanned so many years through various networks. Some of his notable calls included Hank Aaron's legendary home run when he broke Babe Ruth's home run record. And at that time was incredible. It was awesome. If you want to look that up, or I'm actually going to be putting most of these video clips, I will be putting them in the link in the description below. So if you guys want to hear some of these calls, I will be putting them down for you guys to find. He also had he did commentary for Sandy Koufax's perfect game that he pitched in Los Angeles. He had Dwight Clark's touchdown catch in the NFC Championship game in 1982 when the Cowboys played the 49ers. And it was so legendary, it was dubbed the catch. Okay? If that moment is dubbed the catch, and everybody knows what that is, especially 49ers and Cowboys fans, or just football fans in general, you know it's a huge moment. And he was a part of it. Okay? Bill Buckner's error in Game 6 of the 86 World Series, he voiced that as well. He was behind that. And what's significant about that, that was one of the main driving forces behind the curse of the Bambino. You know, the decades-long curse that the Red Sox suffered through before they finally won the World Series in 2004 after they traded George Herman Ruth, aka Babe Ruth, to the Yankees. Okay, and like I said, I gotta make sure I got his name right. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I got Babe Ruth's real name correct. But anyways, yeah. So, and of course, I had to save this one for last. Kirk Gibson's legendary home run in Game 1 of the 1988 World Series. I'm not even going to try and describe it. Like, honestly, if you know what it is, you know what it is. Like, I don't need to describe it to you. For those of you who don't know, again, that one for sure I will be putting in the link in the description down below. So, having read all that, this now is going to come straight from my heart. Vin Scully, to me as a person and to many other Dodgers fans, he was like another grandfather that you had who would sit you around him as he sat in this old rocking chair. Imagine, if you will, him sitting in a rocking chair in the living room asking you to gather around while he told you stories about baseball. And not just about baseball, but about life and just these incredible like facts and stories about not just the team or the players from the opposing team, but just, you know, I remember at one point he talked about beards and mustaches. I got to see him learn about Twitter in real time, and it was the most awesome thing I had ever seen or heard in my life, was him learning about trending on Twitter and tweets and hashtags, and it was the most genuinely heartwarming thing I've ever heard. And, you know, to grow up as a little kid listening to this man with his cadence, his delivery, and just the way that he spoke, it touched me to my heart. And when he retired in 2016, I'm a grown man, and I will admit I openly wept. And it almost makes me emotional just talking about it right now, because Vin Scully was such a beautiful man, like just in general in life. He was so humble, so nice. I regret that I never got to meet him. But I was told he is hands down one of the most humble and sincere people that you could ever talk to. And in fact, people constantly ask me, if you could meet one player on the Los Angeles Dodgers, past or present, who would it be? Mr. Jackie Robinson is a close second, but not even it's a clear-cut favorite. If I could get just 1 hour with Vin Scully over a plate of lunch or just something, you know, I would love to pick his brain and just hear more of these stories that he has to offer, because he truly is a baseball treasure, a Dodgers treasure, a national treasure. And now that he's on social media, I hope that somehow, some way, maybe this video finds its way to him and he can hear this, or maybe someone in his family can hear this and just know that what I'm saying here can easily be echoed throughout all the people that have heard him in their lifetime. So, Mr. Vin Scully, if you ever see this, thank you so much for everything you ever did. For those of us who got to hear you over all these years, you're the best. We absolutely love you. thank you so much for everyone for joining me on this next video. Thank you. I so thoroughly appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to try and cut this before I start getting emotional. I got a few more ideas for videos coming down the pipeline. I will be releasing them as soon as possible. But once again, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.